So, there we all were, looking forward to the arrival of baby Sussex, and boom, Meghan and Harry make the announcement that there will be no announcement on the birth of their child because they want to celebrate, quotes, privately as a family. OK, someone needs to explain to me how a statement announcing the baby's name, weight and gender would invade their privacy or deny them precious family time. This is an unprecedented slap in the face for those legions of decent, ordinary people who love the royal family and who see the royal birth as a joyous national celebration. A celebration they've now been shut out of. No one's expecting Meghan to parade her baby minutes after giving birth, and of course they're entitled to private time with baby Sussex. But how hard would it be to spend 2 measly minutes outside the hospital waving and smiling at people who only want to wish them well? Us Brits give so much to the royal family. We also pay for the privilege of having them. Isn't it time the royals gave something back? Oh my God.
Carole, I've known you for a long time.
You have.
And I love you in many ways.
I feel a brickbat's coming.
But you talk about, what was it, like a joyous national celebration when a royal baby is born.
For a lot of people it is.
Not for that many people.
Come on, Nick.
There are some people who gather outside their respective hospitals, and I wish them nothing but well. But I have to say this, and don't take this the wrong way, I think you're going back to another age. I really do, when they were expected to do this. And I don't think anybody can tell a couple how they should or should not celebrate the birth of their child. It is an intensely personal... I take the point that we pay. I don't know that we actually pay that much money. Were he the next in line, I could start to come to your way of thinking. He's not the next in line. In fact, this child will... He's 7, so the baby will be... Oh, sorry, the baby...
Let me answer that.
Let me just briefly. So, yes, back in perhaps the 50s and 60s, you might have had an argument. Yes, if this child was going to be king or queen, let the couple celebrate the way they see fit. And personally, I wish them nothing but happiness, but it's not a national holiday for me.
But, you know, this is a couple who talk about privacy, about wanting privacy. They're the couple who, at their wedding, invited 2,000 ordinary people to their wedding because they wanted to involve people, the public at large. And yet, they're shutting those people out. I don't think I'm going back to a... Carole, let me finish, please. I'll bring you in. I'm not going back to a bygone age. I'm talking about people. You say we don't pay. We've just paid £3 million for the renovation of Frogmore House. That's one thing we paid. And we paid 32 million quid for their wedding. There's another thing. But they can be as private as they like, but don't be a royal and don't take the money.
Well, the number of points here about the royal family, and, you know, they are a huge asset to this country in many ways. And they are, in terms of the whole world, they are the most prominent royal family in the world. They bring billions into this country. So whatever we do to pay for the royal family, they pay back many, many times over.
Good point.
Then the point that Nick made about tradition, let's have a look at the pictures of how this has been done in the past. You know, there's an expectation when William and Kate and Prince George was born, and the pictures outside the hospital, the Lindo wing, this is what we're used to. This has been going back now to Princess Anne and her children, Prince Charles and Princess Diana. It's a tradition. Now, we are breaking with tradition over here. Meghan is breaking the mold. She is different. She's a highly intelligent, highly articulate individual who's bringing a difference to the royal family.
How hard would it have been? How difficult would it have been to give so many people so much joy? 2 minutes outside a hospital.
Can I raise a possible reason with you? What do you want? Do you just want the babies?
I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less.
I'm trying to work out what you're so upset about. You want to know when the baby is born, what the sex of the baby is, and maybe the birth weight of the baby, and you want Meghan to appear with the baby at some point after the baby's birth. Does it occur to you that Meghan may need a caesarean? How on
earth,
if she does, how on earth can a woman who's just had major abdominal surgery,
what you think I'm saying, that she should come out
of the
bleeding,
hospital holding her bundle of joy? No, but
it's a silly argument.
Think about it. That is a possibility. She's a woman of 37 or whatever she is.
Do you think maybe if she was having a caesarean, she might say?
Well, no, why should she? Why should she? She may have planned an elective caesarean, which would explain why she's not going to do a photo call after the birth.
Good point.
Also, why the heck should she present her baby to the world? It's their baby.
Because she has married into a family that it has protocols and traditions. If you don't want to be part of that, fine, go and live a private life. They don't have to be
But it's her
loyal.
private medical business. If she is having a planned elective cesarean, why should she tell
But
you?
you're saying this like it's fact.
Carol,
if that was the case, of course not.
Well, first of all, just to say, I work with a lot of charities that the Sussexes support, so I don't want to get too involved in this conversation. But number one, if you look at the way the Duchess of Sussex has been treated by the press recently, I'm not surprised she doesn't want to come and parade her baby in terms of how...
Is she doing it out of spite then?
And secondly,
is it petty revenge?
you can't have it both ways, Carol, because you're often talking about Hollywood women and the pressures on them to look good and so on, and now you're then saying something else. And I want to bring in a quote from Keira Knightley. This is what she said in Scarlett Curtis's book about feminism, and she said, Kate was out of hospital 7 hours later with her face made up and high heels on. The face the world wants to see. Look beautiful, look stylish. Don't show your battleground, Kate. 7 hours after your fight with life and death. 7 hours after your body breaks open and bloody screaming life comes out. Don't show, don't tell. You set an unrealistic image for women to see. And actually, we have to get to a place where we allow women to choose for themselves.
And this is the point.
This is such a private...
This is the point, the most important point. It is their choice.
It's their
I mean, the
choice.
birth of your first child, to me, it is one of the most special moments of my life. If they want to be, they're not saying they're never going to be photographed.
Yeah.
It's at their choosing when they're going to do it. They don't have to do it the same way.
We're not talking about going into the hospital or going into their home. We're talking about a couple of minutes for the legions of people who support them. And don't say it's a handful of people who turn up for events. It isn't. It's people who travel hundreds of miles and spend days to see them at every event.
They would do it in their own way.
This is a very small amount of their time.
Carol, I honestly think you and Fleet Street, if it still existed, you're out of the mood with the nation.
You are.
June is more. Let me show you some of the headlines of recent. Meghan Markle nicknamed Megain by disgruntled Kensington Palace staff from the Metro. Meghan Markle snubs Queen's doctors for her own birth team as mum flies in from LA, Daily Mirror. A royally expensive party. Meghan Markle's baby shower cost a staggering $430,000, Daily Mail. Meghan Markle in danger of neglecting Prince Harry after royal baby birth, claims expert, Daily Express. That's not the mood. I'm telling you, that's not how people feel towards this couple.
No, and I wouldn't want to be standing in front of those people after they've written that about me. So, sorry, they have a right to decide for themselves.
You said she's doing it because the press have been battered.
I'm not saying that.
So she's doing it out of petty revenge.
I don't know why.
She's doing it because she's a let me finish. Because she's doing it because she's a Hollywood star and it matters how she looks. They seem like pretty trivial reasons to me when you're talking about people, the Queen's subjects, who actually just want to have a little share in this joy.
They have just broken away their households. They've started their own independent household. They want to do things their own way, in a different way.
Do we think they'll put pictures of the baby on their Instagram account that they opened after saying
Yes.
social media was addictive and evil?
It's their choice.
What's the difference? Tell me what the difference is between standing outside a hospital and posting beautifully edited pictures on their Instagram account. What's the difference?
Because it's a personal decision, if that's what they want to do. No one can tell another couple how to present their child to the world. You could just about argue if he was going to be or she was going to be king or queen. I just about get it. But otherwise, it's their decision.
Does tradition not matter anymore? Protocols don't matter?
Sometimes traditions are there to be broken.
Well, are they?
Yes.
Okay.
God, yeah. Well, no, let's put boys up chimneys then. That's all you
So it's really bad that Kate shows
in the old
days,
the poor Queen had to give birth with courtiers in the room to prove she'd given birth. You know, we have moved on, Carol, and so must we.